Here we are again. We have Dr. Chelsea Ray and Dr. Brian here to share a few insights with us. Please, guys, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and all the good things.
Yeah, perfect. I'm Dr. Chelsea Ray, and this is Dr. Brian, like she said, and you guys can please call us Chelsea Ray and Brian. And we are practitioners at Nourish and Flourish. We are a local business right in the River Arts District. And we help people live extraordinary lives, and we work with people's bodies and also energy. We're classically trained as chiropractors. True. And the work we do is much, much different than what you may imagine when you think of chiropractors.
Yeah, if you imagine like we talk about the human body as being the most advanced technological device on the planet right now. No matter what iPhone or Samsung Galaxy or new computer or iPad or whatever, the latest and greatest is, one of the things that we like to talk about is, like, as humans, we love to project our stuff out into reality for better and for worse. And so part of what we've done with that projection is we've taken a lot of ways that the body interacts physically, energetically, and we've produced outer technologies that match that. And so the challenge that we have right now as humans being on Earth is that we've put so much emphasis on technology, and we haven't allowed our physiological body technology to really shine to keep up with that. And that's really, like, literally in this time, that is one of the greatest problems. As we know, it's been a giant disruption for humanity. And so we're a part of changing that.
Cool. I love to hear that, because we are seeking to, connect with like-minded disruptors, and you guys have obviously disrupted your industry, deviating from the typical chiropractic, what we all think of. And so you're kind of perfectly set up to pivot and adapt to what we're all dealing with right now, because that's just how your minds work anyway. So share a little bit about any new offerings or new ways that you're generating income and how you're adapting personally with your business through this time.
For sure.
Yeah. So like you said, we've been over here disrupting healthcare for a while. and
we were born for this.
Yeah. Everyone has their place, and we have our own special place. Right. In what we've been doing essentially looks at how do we strengthen the being, how do we strengthen the person to be able to deal with a changing environment constantly. Right. So here we are with another change, and we have been upgrading people's systems. We call them their operating system, and it means their body, their nerve system. It's an all-encompassing word that says, like, body, mind, spirit, essentially. And it's a very real thing that we have been working with. Right. And now everyone in the world has this pretty significant curveball of another stress that we need to adapt to. And this is literally what we do, is help people adapt to stress. Well, it's stressed us too, in a way, because we see people in person. Our work is mostly done via one-on-one and in groups. And so some ways that we've gotten to adapt really quickly too. And one blessing for us and for our clients is that we are considered an essential business, and we're still open.
Right.
However,
a wonderful thing, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And we love being able to be here for people, and we're also letting people decide if what's essential for them and if they're going to stay home and if they're not. So many people in our practice are deciding to stay home, and we're so supportive of that. And we've actually began to serve them over the phone. So we can help people adapt. We can help people connect to their body in ways that totally resets their stress, helps them feel more alive, more free, less stressed, and helps with physical pain, emotional pain, you name it. So that is, I would say, one main way we've shifted, we've pivoted, and we've started to teach our workshops that used to be only in our office. Now they're online. which is such a blessing how anyone in the world can access our workshops that have only been in-house. So that's wonderful. And is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, and so we also introduce people to what we do through a monthly talk and demonstration, because you can actually see when we're working with the body and the spine and we're making gentle touches on different parts of the spine, the body actually starts to breathe differently. It starts to move differently. There's actually these two different waves that happen that you can see. And so it's a really kind of interesting, kind of weird for some people to see. From our perspective, truly amazing to see the human body like become really efficient in its breath and its movement and the way that it accesses stored stress and tension and starts to liberate that stress and tension as energy for healing, and ultimately, eventually, as energy to grow and become more conscious and present, and to be able to take more conscious action in the world. So that was an in-house event that we did every month. And for the first time, we're actually going to be offering it. And we think we're going to use this as a platform to moving forward, be offering it online. So we're going to be doing it online. So anyone who's interested in finding out the work that we do, that's a great opportunity to do that. And you can contact our office at Nourish and Flourish, and we can sign you up for that class, which is this Thursday.
That's awesome. I just think it's so important to be able to prepare people to be able to handle situations like this or not, or just be their best that they can be. I mean, like you said, I do believe that the body is a perfect machine. We take it for granted and we decide to like just speed it up. Poor thing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But it's not, you know, it works when you leave it alone. You know, it does its thing every time. And we are really the ones that the spoiled children that have to go in there and just mess it up. But, you know, helping people to actually go back to that and be able to use all their potential. And if you have the right tools in your toolbox, you can take on the world and do whatever you need to do. If you're not in your right place, there's nothing you can, I mean, you will find ways to not do it or to not be connected to what you're supposed to be doing on this planet anyways. So I think that that's a big part of, you know, people just being able to navigate through this. So it will be a good help. And the fact that you guys took it online too. So that helps a lot.
So do you envision, and going back to the in-person workshop talks, monthly talks, will you then just also live stream that monthly in-person? That's the kind of stuff we're thinking about as we move forward. Of course, right now, everything we're offering is virtual. We are an event space. So of course we will get back to the space. But we're talking about, okay, maybe the live stream part is free or reduced, you know, and then the in-person where you're really getting the networking and the Q&A and, you know, maybe you don't get the full enchilada if it's just online, but still really the whole point is sharing ideas and you know, sharing creativity and inspiring that. So we're just looking at what the rest of the year looks like for us, right?
Totally. Yeah. And we certainly are. That's definitely part of the conversation. I think being that we're newer to technology and kind of putting things down on this platform, there will likely be like a couple cycles where we're getting our game on and really wanting to put out a good product. And kind of our current conversation, and this is actually something that Chelsea Ray talked about, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea, is the capacity to get that one shot that we're like, oh, that was really good. And then send that out because people can see that anytime. And then once a month, maybe do like a live Q&A where we can actually have people that we can interact with. So we already have the information out there. It's accessible at any time, any place. And then at the same time, we can really kind of update and still communicate with people and connect. And so I think that that's likely something that we'll be moving towards.
Yeah, I think that Q&A will be very important for people to understand it, because I understand what I do, and I assume that people understand it. The truth is that they have no idea what I do. And then, you know, until we don't sit down and actually have the conversation and they ask me the questions, they're like, oh, that's the way it works. I'm like, So that will be really important for you guys, at least I think. I don't know, probably Chandra agrees to that it will be important for people to fully understand,
well, and it's just
how it can be helped. Yeah.
It becomes an event, which we talk, we're marketers by trade, and So, you know, it becomes an event, and it becomes, you know, they have like the pre-homework, and then it's a discussion because it's like the TEDx Salon, you know, kind of concept too. So I think that's awesome. And that's some of the stuff we're trying to do. I know we want to have you guys be our presenters at a future coffee break, and kind of, you know, in a 15-minute spiel, like what the heck, because it sometimes it sounds a little mystical and metaphysical what you guys do, but you're very grounded in the body. So I think, you know, we work with a lot of entrepreneurs. That's who our kind of target audience is. And I mean, entrepreneurs are, you know, you guys are as well. Like that, we are tough on ourselves. We push ourselves.
And we're
really
humans.
Hard.
We're humans.
But we forget that sometimes. So having services like you and you know, that community, our community needs that so much.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. And the one thing that we like to say about our work, and you can definitely say about entrepreneurship, is that it is not for the faint of heart. Like, both are for people who are really willing to go in human.
Yeah. I say that all the time.
and we love and we attract a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, simply because they tend to be riding that cutting edge and always looking for that little extra something, like how can I maximize this? How can I optimize that? And, you know, that's really our skill set in terms of like becoming more efficient in your body. You know, there's so many messages, at least from our perspective, of what this COVID virus is. And just simply viruses, one of the things that they do is they adapt and change very rapidly. Every year there's a new one. If you look at the flu, every year there's a new one. So they're great messengers. And something that we humans could learn about viruses is to become better messengers and better explainers of information. And what we also know about viruses is that if you're really healthy and your immune system's kind of up to date, and you've already installed all the new changes in the environment, that your body won't need, it may take the virus on, but it won't look like it's virusing, so to speak. And that's simply because you've done all the updates, you've done all the work. And that's part of what kind of those messages are. And so the capacity to be able to change rapidly is so critically important at this time.
Yeah, I love that.
It really is.
Well, and we talk a lot about strengthening your brand and like legacy brand and how you build a sustainable business. And yes, you want it to grow, but I like what you know, how you're talking about that breakdown of, you know, thinking about your body in that way, but then also the updates, like people just do the status quo and hang out here. It's like, if you're not evolving, changing, adapting, growing, making new connections, making your community stronger, then you're not going to survive.
How are you going to be a superhero if you don't do that? That's the mission, is to become a superhero.
And that's why we love what you all are up to, simply because like the people that really get the curve that we're in the evolution of humanity right now, you know, the people that are still running their play of January 2020, you know, like let's say they did the big retreat in October, and they're like, okay, here's 2020, we're gonna lay it all out. If they're still running, you know, like literally that plan for your business, for your market is in a rapid acceleration of change. And you know, the outer's a reflection of the inner. And so to the degree at which people are in that own personal development, growth, consciousness, evolution, it'll reflect in their business. So if we're not updating personally, if we're not evolving personally, our business will certainly not reflect that.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think too, like one of the good things that I've seen, you know, going around with having conversations with different people and whatnot, is that they've taken this time to actually not take the rest of the time for granted of some sort, including ourselves, in the sense of, well, that's not what I want to do, so I'm just not going to do it anymore. And I'm just going to do this other thing. And whatever it is that they felt more aligned with, because in the moment you're just, you know, running in the race and seeing what, you know, oh, I just need the money, whatever, let's go, let's just do this. And, you know, you're just in that race. And then now we made it slow down and rethink, like, what is it that you really want to do? How do you want to do it? Do you want to do it that way? Because I've had days where I've done a lot of things, and I have days that I just sat and thought and just relaxed. And I'm like, It's
Yeah.
just, take your time to just think what I want to do and, what feels better to me and what I really think that will be more of service to others in whatever it is that I do. Because sometimes I do it just to say yes, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me or for them. So I think that it has given the chance to people to reconnect with themselves and their true purpose somewhat. At least for me, it's been. So yeah, some days we've been bipolar, and that's okay. That's just part of the, when you're going through a cleanse, and then you have days that you feel like really sick, and some days you feel really good. Just like that for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
that's a good analogy. It's so true, and that pause is really important.
Yeah. So I think so. Yeah, I think that your what you're offering and that you're taking online will help a lot of people.
I'm gonna put y'all on the spot. So if you could offer everybody, 1 or 2 tips right now for like reconnecting with their body and mind, or what would you advise people right now? And entrepreneurs or not, everybody's in a whirlwind right now, right? So taking the time to center and breathe and meditate, all the different things we should be doing anyway. What are some habits or tips or anything that you could offer people to help them through this?
Yeah, well, I think you both really set it up well. Like, what I mean by that is that this time is totally an invitation to adapt, to reflect, to consider what's important, to reevaluate your personal values, and are you living them? Because whether you're at home alone or whether you're with your family and you're homeschooling and working and going nuts, like the whole spectrum of like, we're all in different situations here. All of that is creating the perfect recipe to help us face like what it is that's really important to us. And so I would say, like, take the invitation. The more we resist what is, the harder time we're going to have. And when we question, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing this right? Is it okay that I wake up sobbing every day? I have a friend who is an entrepreneur, and she is having a lot of work to do and a lot of great opportunities, and she's trying to homeschool at the same time, and her partner's there, and she's like, is it okay that I wake up sobbing every day? I'm like, yes.
Overwhelming.
Yes,
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
and you might be making up for lost time. And it's time, it's okay if what you're feeling is extra. If you feel like your feelings are out of proportion to how it's affecting you directly, we're probably all making up for lost time, because this is an invitation to do the things that we mentioned. And so extra feeling, I just want to say, don't question it, just do it and allow yourself, and be so gentle with yourself. And don't expect you to be the you that you were last month, or the you that you wanted to be today. The you that you dreamed you would be. You're different because we're adapting.
Yeah, I think part of it too is just releasing control. Just let it be. That people think that they have. I'm like, you have no control. And you have to let it go.
We're learning a lot of lessons right now.
And trusting that you're the perfect person for your situation. It's happening to you because you can handle it.
Right. That's true.
And all of us. Can I give one quick strategy?
Do it. Go.
Yeah.
So in terms of just strategy, something that is, there's so much more to this, and I'll give like one little snippet and then we can do a deeper dive. But something that everyone can use is to just find a place where you can sit down or lay down and just tune into your body from your throat, down to below the belly, and just see where are you naturally breathing, and someone might notice like, oh wow, my belly's really expanding, or maybe it's above the belly, maybe it's right here, kind of more solar plexus, or you may even feel like, oh no, it's my chest that's rising and falling. And whatever place that you notice has the most ease and access to breath, then just bring your hands wherever that spot is and just see if you can amplify it. See if you can, like, if the volume, is at a 5, then see if you can turn it up to like a 7 and increase The inhale as it stretches and increase the kind of sinking down into your spine, and just breathe into that area in whatever way feels comfortable. There's only 4 ways to breathe: in your nose, out your mouth, in your mouth, out your nose, mouth, mouth, or nose, nose. So whatever's natural to you. And just by finding one spot in your body that naturally has breath and is able to move with breath, and then amplifying it or expanding it, it will really actually take the part of your brain that goes to recovery. So it's that lowest part of the brain that when we go into stress goes into fight, flight, freeze.
Right.
And it actually shifts it to go into rest, relax, reset. So that's one way where you can just simply tune into your body, connect with that which is working, and turn up the volume on that. And it will create a lot more ease and peace in your system.
Beautiful.
Wow, I just did it, and I swear you can feel the blood pressure like go down.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick trick every morning, right? Just sit there. And how
or when you're feeling stressed, you can just
anytime,
just stop and do it. Well, thank you guys for being here and having our chat, our little interviews that we're putting together to see if they're helpful out in the world. And we'll make sure to share the information how people can reach you and things like that, so they can get in touch with you and all that.
Join Thursday class, so we'll get that information connected as well.
Cool.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It's so
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.